Former Treasury DG Lungisa Fuzile was back at the state capture inquiry today to testify. For more on this, we crossed our reporter Naledi Matlapeng in Parktown. Good afternoon, Naledi. What application did the judge deal with this morning?
Good afternoon, Zinga. This morning, the judge dealt with the application by former Minister of Finance, Mr. Des Van Rooyen, who actually applied for leave to cross-examine the former DG of the National Treasury, Lungisa Fuzile. This was based on evidence that was submitted at the inquiry, which actually showed that Van Rooyen was actually at the compound of the Guptas at Saxonwold just a few hours before he was appointed as former Minister of Finance. So now the judge has not ruled on this particular issue. He has actually postponed it for later.
Okay, we also got an insight into the reasons that National Treasury took certain decisions. Like what reasons did they give for not approving major projects like the nuclear deal?
Well, Mr. Lungisa Fuzile highlighted the fact that the nuclear deal that actually government wanted to pursue was very expensive and it was simply unaffordable. They said that they had to do a due diligence to decide whether the country can actually afford something like that, considering that, the government does not actually have enough money. So they did a due diligence which actually proved that they simply cannot afford it. They said that the former president, however, President Jacob Zuma was not very happy about this decision. He was actually not happy about the fact that they were dilly-dallying, not approving this nuclear deal. But he said that if they had gone ahead with it, the country, that would have meant that government would have had to borrow money and also had to this would actually make it highly indebted.
Let's stay with those debt levels. Now, do we know how much did it affect South Africa's debt level by?
Well, he mentioned the fact that it could have pushed South Africa's debt levels to GDP to about 90% of GDP. That means government would not be able to actually pay this debt and service it going forward. That's why they were very reluctant to actually pursue this particular, approve this particular deal, knowing that there is no way that government would actually afford it, and it would have actually also raised its debt levels. And
Naledi, what else is coming up at the state capture inquiry for the rest of the day and going forward?
Well, we know that in the afternoon they're going to deal with other issues that Mr. Fuzile mentioned in his affidavit, the issues relating to SAA, why there was a need for SAA to keep on bail out over and over again. They're also going to deal with the issue of SASSA, how government was, how the former president Jacob Zuma was actually not happy about the SASSA deal, that because it took forever for the National Treasury to approve that deal. So that's what they're going to be dealing with in this afternoon.
Naledi Matlapeng giving us an update on the state capture inquiry. Thanks for your time.